Hey, what is up, all my skeletons? Welcome back to another live stream. Now, I did stream yesterday, and it was only as a makeup stream for Monday, so I will not be streaming tomorrow. However, I am streaming today, and we are going to be playing some Stanley Parable, the Ultra Deluxe version, which is something that came out fairly recently. And I bought the game and owned it for a little while, and I was highly disappointed that it wouldn't let me play the game in a smaller resolution, and in window, like, it would let me do windowed mode, but it wouldn't let me change the resolution. And they fixed that update, I think 2 days ago. So or it was some time ago, but I didn't update it myself until 2 days ago. But I am glad that they fixed the update, or fixed it with an update, so I can window it, because I only use one monitor for my computer. So but with them having fixed it, I can now stream it for you guys. So here we go. And I've already fiddled with this twice before, and I've set the time for the current time each time. And the second time is like, oh, congratulations. Most people just hit 12 and just continue from there. So I'm actually going to set the current time. So let's go this way, because it is currently 5:02 p.m. I'll set it to 5:03. It'll be flipping over to 5:03 in 3, 2, 1. And now let's go. 5:03 p.m. 5:03 p.m. Your favorite time of the day? Not really. Or could you simply not resist giving me the correct time again? After all, I know how much you enjoy setting the time correctly. Okay, now I'm curious how accurate 5:03 p.m. Let's use another slider to find out. How accurate is 5:03 p.m.? Accurate. Can I just say, regardless of the accuracy of the clock, I'm having a great time adjusting these settings. I feel like I'm learning more about you and how you like things to be set. It's good to collect data. I wish we had more sliders, but we've gone through all the sliders Perhaps I can invent some new sliders to gather new data on you. Shouldn't be too hard, yeah? Whip up a couple new ones. Should be ready by the next time you boot up the game. Interesting. So each time I boot up the game, I can set the current time, and he'll give me something new to do every time. That's interesting. All right, well, let's go ahead and begin the game. I'm just going to move this over really quick. Still see everything. Never the end is never the end is never the loading new end. Is loading never the end? Is loading never the end? No. I do like a hello, Stanley. 2-7. No, that reminds me. Give me a sec. I think I forgot to do something. Nope, not that. PC. There we go. Now it should actually be hearing. Now you should actually be able to hear the game.
And he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Stanley is a very simple man.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi.
Or were they even
Never
real to
in
begin
all
with?
his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation.
I think
Something
this
was
is
very
just an
clearly
allegory
wrong.
for
Shocked,
limbo,
frozen
for
solid,
purgatory.
Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest
He's just
time.
stuck in limbo.
But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay. Is there a button to jump? Or I could just walk through my chair? Yeah. I could have sworn there was a button for jumping. Because I remember something
All
about...
of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Yeah, there was just a...
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map
Oh.
until he heard
Yeah,
this
see, I remember
narration
this
and
part.
realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why
Sure.
don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Ah, then in that case we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other
Okay.
option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
So what, do I just, I don't remember what you're supposed to do in this part. Am I supposed to actually set the game? I guess so.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he
Just
heard
wanna
this
see what
narration
happens if I
and
do hit
realized
yes.
it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we
Yes.
take a minute just to drink it all in?
It's weird that they were
Okay,
actually
I'm over
allowing
it
you to get
now.
up on
what
the
do you
desk
think?
like
Are you
that.
sick of this gag yet? Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain.
I'm good all the time.
There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. You too will become quite unbearable.
You know, the narrator's voice actor reminds me of Cats from Courage the Cowardly Dog. I wonder, that's the other thing too, is I have no idea how long this goes for. It's just pure white, and the only way you can like tell that you're actually moving by staring up at the window. I'm guessing this continues on forever and ever. Starting again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Touching it.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
I did it 20. Just wondering, if there was some turning off all the. I don't remember. There was something here. Yeah, there was something. It's been a long time. Check every door.
Stanley clicked on literally every single door in the office. because he doesn't pick up well on cues from his environment.
Oh, I closed the door. It's like... that over. Well, okay. Mondays are the start of the week. Which is why people hate Monday. Something EL. Is that a J or fuel? I think it probably says fuel. Every door closed. Who just leaves a coffee cup sitting on a chair like?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
You know, I think for the first time, maybe I will actually follow his. Your computer's on. Oh, I could turn it. I really wish. Close the door and see. Nope. Not in the list.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Nice. It'd be cool if I was able to get up onto this table. Oh, I can get up on the table. Who actually has a meat? Project. This we're not getting far. Talk less, do unbelievable, amazing work all the time, every day, with no expectation of promotion or recognition. Fire. That would help. How to solve a dispute with a coworker. Follow up beside you, take it aggressive. Then coworkers are not supporting you. Slides, Mr. That slides just. Please don't. Everyone is you. Too bad everybody has the same hairstyle. All the women have the same hairstyle. The men have the hairstyle. Number of slides on this slide. Charts, slides, charts, and great at the charts and this. Asper. Boss go on the top 20, the most boss fill triplicate and return to your boss following with another diligent employee. Remember what it takes to fight, now you're both of it. What are your dreams? And we're back in full. Happy Violet Gems, you are fired. Perhaps about two people. We have two products. Grass. Profits with a PHE. Bi-quarterly post review. A lot of Do synergize core values expenditure. Shift global market trade. I'm guessing is it supposed to be monetize. Those right there almost look like real world images. Almost. Standardized graphs 40 by 40 times not efficient money. Who moved my desk? Please keep the targets of the topic on the topic of tomorrow. Complete today's unfinished agenda items, write next day's agenda, and reflect. Hey Jamfrog, how's it going? Just looking at all of these. Terminate days. Oh god, someone gets fired on laugh of the day of the week fired on. Good, good. Glad to hear it. You're welcome to join voice chat if you're free. Otherwise, just roaming about the halls. Every time I leave a room, I feel like the game has to.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
I remember the whole broom closet and
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I, Lonnie, worked this. I wrote this. It's hard to read because it's so small and I have no way of zooming in to be closer. What's making that sound? Oh, that's a park. We'll do that. Go in there. Kind of eating at the moment. I eat on stream all the time. Trying every door. What is this? Executive bathroom. I got the stealing, but not yours, of course. So that's a lovely, or say that's a lovely. Got nothing to say about the bathroom, narrator. I've got plenty of say in bathroom. Sit here. Just doing my business. Stanley, no, I am a rebel. Yeah, he says, "No, just doing my business." What a nice view of the white abyss. There's no way the light outside is that bright. All right. Sorry, I can't. Your toilet's broken in here. I can't flush the. Whoa, come on. Okay. Drop the down. Too much other stuff. Oh. Now it won't let me. Oh, still let me go into the bathroom. Until I get it too far away. Why is there a picture of someone pointing a gun at it? Funny how he doesn't have anything else to say. That, I'm guessing, is the boss's office. Business strategy. Guessing there's no higher floor up than this floor. I am the most expensive boss. But what happens if we take the elevator? No, that's probably what will happen after we step into the...
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him, and so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
I guess I should have just taken the elevator. Okay. It would be nice if I could actually see him. But there's not a way of turning up right. It would have been nice if there was a way. There is a jump. Okay, well. sure missed my jump button, though. Or I sure missed the ability to jump.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Supposed to be. Sparks.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I vaguely remember.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I guess we'll find out. Officer protocol. Really wish I could act that up close. Or I really wish I had the ability to jump.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Stanley was number 427. So I could see the camera right. Is on. Who employee number 1? Goes all the way up to employee 600. None of these employees were fired either. There.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Maybe. I'd be fuming if Stanley.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Did notice it. Buttons. It is dark and or at least that's what I would say if it wasn't locked. We're gonna go ahead and finish up this. Oh, there's.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Yeah, I agree. Guessing that leads to
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command.
that would be so scary.
Freedom was mere
It's black
moments
room like
away.
that.
And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps
Yeah,
his
as
goal
would
had
anybody.
not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right
What
now,
a nice,
that things were meant to happen.
a nice ending
And Stanley
to this game.
was happy.
Interesting that there were other buildings. I was hoping I could have stepped out. I should have stepped out backward. So it would have panned slower and I might have gotten a little.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
There we go. So it's like every time you start over, you have to push that input on. 2. Now 2. Oh, somebody was playing solitaire on that computer. I recognize that.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire.
There's like so much. Yeah. Yeah. Crazy.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in. really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth.
Definitely. Don't worry.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Probably. I don't know. Really go for a cold drink right now.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Something's a little up on. Did they not expect you to get so close? Texture. I really wish I could read the paper. You have no idea how much I could try. Just some strange. Not as white as they.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Papers. Why does Stanley seem like suddenly the size of a child standing there? Stanley must. Fifth annual subcommittee meeting of revenue. Fees of Bill Revenue Discussions Club. Committee hereby proposes the following: that all internal revenue be reviewed. Guessing that's revenue be reviewed exclusively by something of ability appointed subcommittee. Internal members? It could have been internal. It's really hard to see. Like, makes you wonder what company this is. To even be connected to a warehouse, too.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story
I did not
and
mean
no
to
one
fall
gets to tell
off.
him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death.
Oh, come on.
Good
I landed
job,
on
Stanley.
some boxes.
Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Come on. I landed on some boxes.
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
Not that damn gnat this time. another computer monitor with an input. Let me go back in my own code. Never know what all changed. I feel like checking every door is the right way to go.
Stanley clicked on literally every single door in the office because he doesn't pick up well on cues from his environment.
I want to read that paper.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Didn't.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
This entryway did. I get it. Okay, hold on. My computer is wiggy. I love it when it does this. My computer just starts wigging out for no reason. Close stuff, just that would help. Why do you feel the necessity to close every door behind you and leave them open?
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the... All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
No, I want to go back. I'll go through your red door. I promised. I don't want to go. Funny how these doors seem to love to lock themselves behind. Okay, I guess press for.
You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Realize that this door is missing a hand.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul. You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
.3% of players skip the end. Oops.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
I would mind, actually.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience. You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game, just to ease the pain? Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Let's give it a shot. Game is this? I don't know.
Aha! Fascinating.
No.
What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation?
Name of this game again?
Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man, spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley, and it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Gold name. Face puffs. Truck, Alaska. Oh, this was May of. I was 4 months old. I turned 4 months old in that. Definitely something now. All right. I'll play your game. I'll go down. I'll go look and see what else we've got going on. Stanley's kind of hurrying down those steps here.
Oh no, it can't be.
What?
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this is just the thing. Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed. Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun. Hold on. What are you doing? Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back. We still have...
No. Back to where I begin. Wait, did you actually have a? Did this game actually have the jump button, and it's been taken out recently?
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait. How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way. Stanley clicked on literally every single door in the office because he doesn't pick up well on cues from his environment. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door and this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Very dangerous indeed.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone. As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly. I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check.
Maybe.
No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack." Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please. Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Oh. All the way.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine.
Is my, no, my mic's still good.
Fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
That's chaos, right? Wow, Picasso's work sure has come a long way. By Picasso, I mean something else. It looks distorted and I'm guessing it's I'm guessing this was supposed to be well, let's see if we've distorted everything out. Back the other way, but first two. Not looking. Ooh, yes.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
That was pretty cool, though. Seeing everything all distorted. Oh, hi. I don't think this is right.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You, who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see?
Yeah.
Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would.
Just gonna keep
that means
resetting
choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
I tried to hurry back.
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly
Okay.
and always putting
Seems
the
he's
story
it's
first.
going to
I'm quite
force
sure you'll
me
be up to
go
the
to
task.
left now.
Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
No. Don't even let me go in the broom closet this time.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Pretty sure the boss's office did.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Nightshark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code. Stanley spoke the code. Nightshark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Nightshark 115?
I'm sorry, is there a problem?
Yeah,
You
I
didn't
can't
mishear me,
speak.
did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we
My mouth
can't get
has
on
been
with the
muffled.
story. This is a crucial step.
Stanley is mute, dude. Stanley is mute. He doesn't
Okay,
know how to speak.
fine. You're not going to do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you
Wait,
this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You... When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me?
There's no way that's
Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there?
I did not know.
Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right.
I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
The end is never the end.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Oh.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time understood true happiness. Then the feeling went away, and he felt sad again. Then it came back, and lingered for a minute or two. Now it's only half there. Just a kind of, tingle. Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left. Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you
Things
hold
I
on for a
do
minute,
to help
please?
Stanley get to the right role.
Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way. No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, hmm? Okay, from the top. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Or did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story. I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not? All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything? Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps. Now this, well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations.
Who win?
Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.